as we create some space for yourselves, for your own energy to really feel into and ground into your body, that will make and create more space for you to feel safe, to let in the mystery. And that is something I actually didn't plan this, but this fits. That when things feel super tense, super scattered, super chaotic, it can be a very natural default and a very wise mechanism to lean on control, to lean on tightening, to lean on over planning, because that can create a sense of safety. I know this well. But it often is it can create a false sense of safety. And so there's no judgment at all. It's a wise and adaptive mechanism. But through releasing, creating some space for our own energy and moving out some of what isn't yours, which I'll guide us through in the meditation, that might create more space for you to just be able to allow yourself to feel safe to be present, to open up to the mystery, and to be present with what your body is telling you in the moment, because our body has intelligence and is always communicating with us, and also to open up to the mystery of what might be trying to come in, whether it's from your own higher self spirit information, or if it's just communication information and mystery coming in from the universe. So let's start with let's do a little body. I always like to start with the body. And this is no knock on my intuitive classes, which I love, but my training, you always just got right into the energy work. That's what it's for. But I feel like checking in with the body is just so important because it's here. So just even acknowledging, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to fix anything, but even just acknowledging what's going on in your body in the moment can actually help it settle and help you be present. So let's do a little squeeze. Touch is actually a really super good way to communicate safety to the body. And you can even do something, this is called a containment hug. You take one hand and put it under your armpit, or it could just be on top of the shoulder and the other hand on your shoulder, and just give yourself a gentle squeeze. If you have little ones, you can ask them to try this with them and ask them if they like it. It might settle their body down better than words. And just gentle pressure, and just take a few breaths and notice if your belly will like to start softening. Anywhere that there is tension, it's really easy to judge yourself for noticing, oh, I'm tense. Oh no, I'm doing this. I'm gripping. Oh no, I'm failing. But that's just more layers of learned perfectionism. And so just saying hello and just noticing, ooh, my belly's gripping. Oh, my neck is tight. Just noticing it might actually give it the permission to have a little space or soften a little bit. You can switch hands if you want. It can also feel nice to just give gentle squeezes down your arms. Again, too, this is good with little ones. Touch if they're melting down, as long as they welcome it. Some squeezes, some gentle pressure. You can do it down your legs too. Can speak better than words. I mean, even for not little ones, for ourselves too. A little pressure on the chest. Or if you have a partner, you can ask them to do this for you too. They can give you joint compressions. They can press the front and back of your chest, press your hips. You can give a little pressure to your hips. And just see if your breath wants to just lengthen a little bit, if your belly feels safe softening. Also, we are getting ready to move some energy, which can stir up tension in the body as the energy is getting activated. So that's very typical too. So there could be more that's getting activated. Hmm. And just close your eyes for a moment. Maybe you've already noticed a shift. You can do a little scan of your body, non-judgmental curiosity, like you bringing your awareness like you might bring to like a leaf that you pick up on the ground, and you're not going to judge the leaf if it's got a little some bumps or a little rip in the corner or if its color is fading. You're just going to notice it. Hmm. And then staying with your eyes closed, and if you're able to sit with feet flat on the ground, and knowing, of course, that this is for you. So if at any time you do need to shift or do something different, you have full permission and authority over decisions for you and your body and your awareness. Start to visualize or create a big beam of light or maybe a big tree trunk that connects at the base of your hips, and then it roots down into the center of the planet. And let it be as wide as your hips. Like we don't need a little spaghetti string. Let it be nice and wide or even wider. And just invite that energetic, it's an energetic grounding and energetic grounding cord to, like an elevator, descend down into the center of the planet. And it just happens with your awareness. You might be able to see it. You might see it underneath you, like growing out of your body. You might see it out in front of you, like a mirror image of yourself. Or you might just have a sense of it and just use your imagination. And by the way, imagination is tapping into your third eye, it's seeing. It's the same sense. So if you can imagine it, you're doing it. Hmm. You just saw some validation pop open. You're just creating energetic grounding, just communicating to your body and your energy field that you're safe. You're here, rooted in this moment. You're rooted to the planet. Your body is safe. You are safe. If at any point your body does want to like release a deeper sigh, yawn, make a noise, that's just the body releasing energy. And so you're welcome. You're all muted. You're welcome to do that. And just pause here and just notice what, if anything, is coming up or how it feels to just be grounded and rooted in your body. And this is actually step one, the most important step of being able to separate from anything that's not yours is coming into and grounding in your own body. It's also very natural, and many of us, myself too, are very skilled at leaving the body as a way of like, whoop, this feels crazy. I'm going to leave the body. That's way better. That's completely natural. That is an ability. But coming back in and grounding is where you really start to get ownership of your space and create a new sense of safety. And if there is energy around you, whether it's the immediate, like work or just your city, your commute, or the world that is kind of chaotic, you can't control everyone else and everything else. You can try, but what you do have the efficacy over is your own energy, your own space. And sometimes just shifting and grounding actually gives a very different perception of what's going on around you. It's also the like if I'm like running late and spilling my tea and dropping my keys and feeling frazzled, I can't get on the Zoom meeting. That happened to me when I was running the student reading space a few weeks ago. I was like, wow, I need to really ground. And we'll actually come out of meditation for a moment and we'll go back in. So if you're like, this is so good and I want to stay, you can stay with your eyes closed. But if you want to open your eyes and just come back to the room for a moment and stretch again, I'm just going to do a little more talking and just bring us back for a moment. Yeah, maybe a little wiggle feels good. Are you on a ball, Xenia? Ah, nice. So everything has an energy. You have your own energy. The planet has its energy. There's collective energies as well. Like it's no secret that there's a lot happening in our country, in the government. There's a lot happening in the world at large, and that's all an energy. And it's not to say that you shouldn't pay attention to or care about things, but if you're here you likely are very sensitive. You are more empathic than you realize. And as a sensitive, as an empath, it can be very easy and very natural to just take in and absorb a lot and feel a lot of energy that isn't yours. And this can make it harder to be grounded in your body. It can make you feel you can feel things that it can be hard to discern. Is this mine? Is this belonging to something else? Am I matching sort of the collective chaos energy, the stress energy? There's a lot with the economy. And it's not to say that those things aren't real, but there can be a difference between seeing them and feeling it and holding it in your body and in your energy field. And as sensitives, as empaths, you might even be healing some of it in your own space without realizing it. And then also, and on top of that, it's the holiday season, and there can be a lot of expectations. There's a lot of frenzy energy layered on top of that. And when that can make it hard to having that in your space, can make it even hard to know, like, what is mine? What do I want? What boundaries do I want to create? What do I want to say no to? How do I want to enjoy this? Can make it hard to discern that because you're feeling it in your space. It can make this sort of like chaotic soup stress. And being human, energy, I like the metaphor of like glitter. It's like everyone has their own like you have your own energy and even there's collective energy and it's just like glitter just kind of mushes together like you get glitter out and the glitter is just like a glitter bomb and you don't know what's what. So what we want to do here is just separate out some of the glitter so that you have your own energy feels good. It doesn't mean that you it doesn't mean that you won't still have questions or things in your life to figure out steps to take, but it's so much easier to know and to see and to handle your own stuff when you separate out the glitter bomb. You just have your glitter. So that was a lot of talk. Let's do a little bit of energetic separation. So go ahead and close your eyes again. The kitties. Kitties love meditation and energy work. I used to actually have a cat who she was so sweet. She was such an energy hog. Sometimes when I was doing readings, I would see her stick her psychic head in the psychic reading bubble to be like, pay attention to me. And I would be like, no, I will pay attention to you later. Oh. Yeah, so settle back in. It's also very common. I am very familiar with this when there's a lot of stress or chaos energy in your space. Maybe some of it is your own, but from outside of you too, for the mind to start to spin on a loop of trying to figure it out and solve it from the mental level. And that's very common. And that is one strategy that it's like you can look at that. If you catch yourself in that, you can say, oh, hey, thank you. Thank you, mind. Thank you, cassette tape. That's a part that I appreciate. That's a strategy I learned. You can stop playing right now. Because very seldom is that going to actually, like, you need it for, paying your bills, but doing a spreadsheet, but that's not going to help you actually solve the energy that might be in your space. So that's just a sign if you notice you get stuck in a mental cassette loop of the tape keeps playing, I'm going to solve this. Yeah, so just notice you're grounding again. You're grounded in your body. You're connected to the earth. You might feel the chair or the cushion underneath your hips. You might feel the ground underneath your feet. And your grounding cord can also serve to not only root you, but start to release energy. It can be like a drain in a sink that releases some energy, like open the stopper and let the dirty water wash down. And now we're going to take it another step. And this is something that you can, just like grounding, that you can repeat on your own anytime. I want you to imagine that you have like a really big sponge, like a really, really big, super absorbent sponge. You already got it nice and wet in the sink. You're wringing it out. It's all primed. And you're going to take this sponge, whether you see it, imagine it, sense it, you're going to bring this big absorbent sponge into your aura, into the energy field around your body. And this sponge is going to start sponging up any energy that's not yours that might be creating some stress, some chaos, some spastic feeling, some tension in your space. You don't have to know whose energy or what the energy is or from where, or even how this works. It just works on the level of intention. So how does this work? Does this real? That's the mental piece of the mind, which is great. You can notice it, but this is working on a like a sixth sense level. And so just invite that sponge to start to go. It kind of is like a Pac-Man. It just knows where to go through your aura. It's just gonna, there might be splotches, there might be big gloops and globs, little flecks and specks. There might be a whole conversation, and the sponge just absorbs. It's just absorbing. It can be close to go around your body, in front of you, might be underneath you, your hands. Just let it go. It just knows where to go. And as the sponge is moving and absorbing, you might not know what it's doing. You might hit if you feel all of a sudden you're like, what were we just doing? And you just go into la la land. That's actually an energy. That's an energy of unconsciousness. Or you might all of a sudden get a ping of you're thinking about a conversation you had with someone, or you've something you saw on the news or on Instagram. It might even come, there might even be a worry that you think is your own, but you realize it's connected to someone else. It's actually someone else's worry for you. And as that sponge looks, or you have a sense that it's getting full, you can just let it drop down your grounding cord. Or you can just kind of toss it outside your aura and just let it kind of like explode. It's just de energizing it, just neutralizing the energy, kind of like compost goes back to the earth, gets neutralized. Let's do that one more time. So you can take another absorbent, ultra absorbent sponge, or if you like, maybe you like super absorbent microfiber cleaning cloths, downy paper towels, whatever you like. You can also take the image of a rose too. And just let that sponge move through your space, just giving you a shine. If you notice sensations happening in your body as you do this, you might not, but if you do, that's actually energy moving and your body is just noticing it on a reacting to it on a body level. Doesn't mean it's bad. Yeah, and it looks like you can let it, looks like you can all let it go underneath you, like under the bottom of your aura, like underneath your feet. Energy can stick down there too. And as you do this, you may notice that your space, your just awareness is, it's like the volume's getting turned down, or you're putting on noise canceling headphones. That's you clearing energetic noise, coming back to your own essence and vibration. And then again, you can take that sponge, that rose, whatever you used, you can drop it, let it go down your grounding cord to be composted by the earth, or send it off, send it out to the universe and just kind of explode it. And just enjoy a few moments breathing, being with your own energy. And in this new space that might be quieter or a more inner stillness, You can just tune in and just see, is there anything from your own awareness that wants to speak to you? You don't have to force it, you don't have to create anything. It might appear, you might see an image, you might just have a sense of peace. You might sort of hear a different clarity of thought. It might be maybe there's just a color or a sensation in the body. And also too, sometimes when you move energy, whether you're moving some of your own, releasing some things that are not present time, or you're moving out energy that isn't yours, sometimes what happens in the space is there's an emotional release or movement. Sometimes that can feel like almost like elation and joy, laughter. Sometimes it might be a sadness or a grief that starts to move or release. And so you can just, you don't have to force that, but if that's happening, it's having space to actually move and be felt. So it's actually a positive thing, even if it's slightly uncomfortable. And then one last piece before we open our eyes and come back to the room is you've released and you moved a lot of energy, and we want to replenish. You want to replenish your tank. So visualize or imagine a big golden orb or golden ball of light, a big sun out in front of you. And let it get nice and big and nice and bright. And gold is for the body, it's the vibration of energetic replenishment. It's like your energetic spa day. And then see or sense, feel, bring that golden ball of light above your head. Maybe you let it get just a little bit bigger. And then you can start to bring it in. Maybe it's like you pop it with your finger or you open the drain on it and it starts to wash through you. Just refilling your physical body, your energetic body with this sort of pure gold vibration. If it runs out, you can always do another one. Or if it went really fast, you can do another one. Just really fill in and give to yourself. And let it run all the way over your hips and down your legs and your thighs. all the way to your feet and your down your arms to your hands. Yeah, if you're a mom or some kind of space holder, teacher in any capacity, really good, really fill in your arms and your hands. Your hands is where a lot of healing energy comes from out of. Nice. And when you're ready, you can start to stretch. Take your time. Maybe you yawn, bend down and touch the floor and shake your head a little bit. Yeah, take your time coming back. Notice the shift in your space. And I didn't say this in the beginning, but if anyone here is a journaler and you have any insights, any observations that you wanted to take a minute or two to journal, you can do that now. Otherwise, we'll just take a minute to just be in our own space. Or if you need to stand up and stretch, if you're like, oh, my butt's going numb. And let's see. Yeah, I'll open it up if anyone has anything that they wanted to share, something you experienced, something that shifted, questions. You also don't have to.